Miss Jeske's class, this is your Aiken drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his head was made of a watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. His head was made of watermelon, and his name was Aiken Drum. Thanks, Mohammed. So, we had two different kinds of eyes that came in, and I chose Jonathan's because his, with the blueberries, he had the pupils too. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his eyes were made of blueberries, blueberries, blueberries. His eyes were made of blueberries, and his name was Aiken Drum. So Ava, she originally suggested that the eyes be a grape. But nobody suggested a body, and we couldn't have legs or anything else without a body. There was a man. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. Was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his body was made of a grape, a grape, a grape. His body was made of a grape, and his name was Aiken Drum. I was just going to rationalize that would be pretty awkward because watermelons are huge and grapes are small. But then I'm thinking, why am I rationalizing the size of the body parts when he's made out of food items anyway? There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. Was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his legs were made of bologna, bologna, bologna. His legs were made of bologna, and his name was Aiken Drum. Now you might be looking at that word bologna and thinking, there's no way that that word is bologna because it certainly looks like bologna, right? So, why is it spelled like that if we call it bologna? Because it came from this kind of meat, came from a town in Italy that was named Bologna. Why we pronounce it wrong, I don't know, but there you go. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. This one comes from Assyria. I like the details of the frosting here. And his hair was made of cupcake frosting, cupcake frosting, cupcake frosting. Hair was made of cupcake frosting. His name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. This one was shared by Grayson S. Now, Grayson S. originally had his spaghetti as the hair, but we couldn't have cupcake hair and spaghetti hair. Plus, our Aiken Drum had no arms. He still doesn't have a mouth or a nose, but it felt kind of sad that he had legs but no arms. So we moved him to the arms, Grayson. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. Was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his arms were made of spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. His arms were made of spaghetti, and his name was Aiken Drum. I made it. Do you know where spaghetti comes from? Italy. Do you know where Bologna comes from? Italy. I see a theme here. All right, we're going back to the beginning and we're going to sing the whole song together. I want you to sing it with me because for homework, you're going to do a video of yourself singing just one verse to me from the beginning. There was a man. Ready, and there was a man lived in the name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon. In the moon there was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his eyes were made of blueberries, blueberries, blueberries. His eyes were made blueberries, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his body was made of a grape, a grape, a grape. His body was made of a grape, and his name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his legs were made of bologna. I kind of feel like we should bologna, but we're in the US and we say it wrong. So let's just keep saying it wrong. But you and I know that it really comes from the town called Bologna. I think it's Bologna that we don't pronounce it, Bologna. And his legs were made of bologna, bologna, bologna. His legs were made of bologna, and his name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, in the moon, in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his hair was made of cupcake frosting, cupcake frosting, cupcake frosting. Hair was made of cupcake frosting. His name was Aiken Drum. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his arms were made of spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. His arms were made of spaghetti, and his name was Aiken Drum. Thank you, those that did the drawings and shared those with us. I hope you enjoyed our little Aiken Drum. I will show you next how you're going to record that video. In order to send a video of yourself singing to me, you're going to need to go into Quaver. And remember, you get to Quaver through Clever. So this student's account, they did it so it's all red. Not a huge fan, but that's okay. I'm going to go up to student.ocfsd.org bookmarks and then go down to Clever, log in with Google. Now, by now, you should have Quaver up here. If you do not, it's down at the bottom. You click on the heart, it will be up there now. And then you click on it. So here I am, and it should open up like this, and then you have assignments here, and then you would click on that. And the assignment that's popping up should be the assignment that you should be seeing is the one that says record yourself. You click, you launch. Now it's asking if Quaver can use your microphone and camera. So you're going to click yes or allow. It says press record to start recording video. So I'm going to click this and then I'm going to sing. And I realized I'd rather you just sing the chorus. That's the part that goes, there was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. So I'm going to do that. I'm clicking record. It counts down. There was a man lived in the moon, lived in the moon, lived in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. And then you click stop. If you want to listen to it again, you can press play back. Otherwise, you can click submit. And it will turn it in. Success! Yay! And then you click exit, and you're done.